What's going on, boys? Hey, happy to be back. Big shout out to Mike and Cole for running the stream for the last couple of weeks. It was
Yeah, man.
fun to watch. I need to go back and watch those in their entirety. But yeah, Cole got ugly, didn't he? Yeah. It's just me, you guys. Shut up, Justin. All right. So yeah, back from a little 2-week trip myself. Been super eager to get back on the mats and train. So it's been maddening watching you guys do it. I'll never quit. You guys will quit long before I quit. Don't even give me that. I'll make you guys quit. In any case, we've got Monday's footage. So let's jump into that. First off, what are we on this week, position-wise?
Back.
Back position, okay.
No, I'm sorry. Monday was the first day of legs.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, yep.
Legs. All right, cool. So yeah, we'll get this camera position dialed in.
So we got Josh and Danny. We got Caleb with Austin.
They're not even trained.
Pablo and Matt.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Steven. I can't see the face.
Some new faces here for me. I think these two were here. I think this is Dana and maybe her boyfriend.
That's right.
And then
Oh, it's James. It's Steven and James.
Okay.
Yep.
And then who is this young lady off to the side of the mat in the red shirt? Is that?
I'm horrible with names.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm asking you.
No, you shouldn't ask me. Totally not.
Just competed last weekend. Gonna compete again this Saturday. How'd it go, Mango?
Right on, man.
Looks like Dana and her boyfriend. Steven, are you saying James is Dana's boyfriend's name? If I'm even getting her name right.
No, I think he's saying Steven's training with James.
Okay. What's going on, James? Thanks for the resub.
What's up, man? Thank you.
And yeah, to all the new followers, Jesus, it was like we had, I think, around 150 last time I was on. So thanks again for all the new follows.
What are we at now?
We're up at 162.
They must have really liked me and Cole.
Yeah, we should probably just. I'll just go behind the scenes, do production. Lost on points, but fixable mistakes. All right, that's not
good.
bad. Anytime I lose, is that Jenna and Danny? Because I don't think
No.
Jenna's been hanging out.
It's not Jenna.
Okay.
No, she's a mom of one of the kids
Oh,
that
okay.
tried out her class maybe a week ago, and she used to train a while back on the mats, and she was raring to go to like this was the first day that she did open. You definitely did flex when you were on, Cole. Yes. And yeah, so her and Danny, this was her first back on the mats in a little while, so she wanted to see where she was at with respect to live training. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Looks like Dana and her boyfriend are working the single leg X or Rimiyashi sweep into legs. That's good. And then James, how's training been going for you, man? Got Josh trying to strangle you right now. Braden and Steven. Okay, cool. Kevin and Matt. Yeah, Mango, that's one thing I, for better or for worse, hang my hat on at any of my losses. Like, with the exception of my very, very last match, my most recent one, where Giant Slayer knee barred me, which was super cool. Anytime if I'm gonna lose, I'd rather be on points, not getting subbed. But
Yep.
Yeah, man. So I think what we're gonna do next for the view is we're actually gonna like set up the camera right around here, up in the top corner.
Yeah.
That way, there's there's a giant TV with the round timer on right there, so we'll be able to see that from the camera view, which doesn't mean much to you guys, but it is a big help when we're editing these videos and chopping out all the dead time.
It also, like, you'll see, like, the transitions are just weird. Like, not having, that start-stop thing, that it's like, oh, it was the end of the round.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, all of a sudden everybody just kind of stops, slaps hands, and then gets up, and you're like, oh yeah, that's right.
It's hard to catch that in iMovie.
Oh, yeah, totally.
All right, so let's get to some real shit here. So we have Cooper and Austin over here. And so I don't know, I'm going to give Cooper the benefit of the doubt that he was looking to like play around with some leg attacks today, I guess. But right now he's got Austin broken down with a front headlock, which is great. But then he just kind of like slips it off here and opts to go down. And like you could do that. I don't know. I feel like he's giving up an opportunity to really snap Austin down, work to the back, work, a very offensive game from that position. Instead, he just kind of like sloppily comes off the front headlock, sits to his butt, and it doesn't really fully engage the legs too well. So, Cooper, if you're go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just to Austin's credit though, like he made sure to block that leg that was going to sweep around, right? So as soon as Cooper comes down, Austin uses his right hand, V grips on the left leg of Cooper, as like as he pulls.
Oh, sure.
And then right hand comes around, puts the V grip, so that that Cooper couldn't really engage the legs super well.
Fair. Yeah, Cooper.
Yeah, you're right on the money.
Yeah,
he could have done a lot more with it.
Yeah, just like to see at least working snap downs, try to get Austin's hands to the mat, and work from there.
Yeah. In pinball, the camera gets bumped later on and repositioned. Yeah, it goes back to what we've been looking at for the past week and a half or so. So it just goes like that way. Yeah, dude, it just goes left. I mean, we couldn't see it, so nobody's fault. Growing pains. But yeah, I mean, we got Andrew and Jason. Looks like they're playing with leg attacks here. Jason's on an outside ashi, so his legs are across the outside of Andrew's right leg, which makes it a straight ashi or outside ashi position.
I'm happy to see that.
Yeah,
because Jason has vocally expressed his disdain for leg stuff, which I get it. It's at blue belt, if you haven't like totally geeked out on legs yet, it's hard to convince yourself to like them. But talk to Cole; he'll happily tell you how he has come around.
Oh yeah.
Have the footage of the tournament. Don't want to interrupt stream. Yeah, dude, send it on over. If we don't, I mean, we probably won't do it today just because we have this footage locked in. But yes, same thing you did last time. Send me the footage or send me like a YouTube link if it's on YouTube, and I could just stream it from there. We've also got some. We had. Was it just Josh and Cole this past weekend?
We have some of the kids too.
Okay. So yeah, we've got some comp footage to go over. We can fold it in with that, which would be fun. As well as Ronnie. We've been sitting on that footage and just like I think with the move and like jumping.
And Luke's schedule too. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We haven't gone over some old recent footage, but from a few weeks ago. So yeah, Mango, send it over to me somehow, and we'll fold it in with that, man. Happy to go over it. White belt is it is the leg lock stage. We highly encourage gripping and ripping.
Hmm.
At the white belt level. Assuming end of the round, yeah, okay. Dude, Gavin needs a haircut.
Nah.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Let it keep going.
Grow it out when you're that young. It's the only time you
Damn
can
right.
do it.
This is me and Josh's banger round. Second, I get mauled by Jordan GMO, and then I get mauled by Josh back to back. Awesome. Yeah, so we dubbed you missed out that new Jordan is it's not Jordan 2.0, it's Jordan GMO.
GMO?
Yeah, he's genetically modified. Yeah.
And old Jordan is what, organic?
Organic, yeah.
Looks like Jason's getting after it with him. Bit of a reach from Jordan on that outside trip.
Yeah, he did that with me too. I wound up pulling guard from there, but Jason's definitely willing to stand.
Yeah. And Jason's putting a lot of forward pressure in here. His you can see his head's way far out in front of his feet. His legs are angling forward, just pushing off of the mat.
And his head is on the correct side of the head of Jordan's head, in order to make it very difficult for Jordan to continue to cut angles, right? You know, that head position, flat backed, right, like pushing into the neck, is a very good head position. There are definitely throws that Jordan can do from there in order to take advantage of that head position, but there's the only thing that I can really think about are like really long steps on the left side, right? Like taking really deep steps and maybe trying to hit some size or something like that from there. But all in all, Jason's in a really strong position here.
Yeah. There we go. Snap down into the front headlock.
Yeah, Jordan's hanging on to the outside of the leg, but unless, you know, Jason makes an egregious mistake, which kind of went right there, trying to hit that go behind without blocking the elbow. Right, so he drops it, he's going around, but he does not block the elbow going. So if Jordan was a little bit faster to try and take it and had his head on the proper side here, that could have ended very badly for Jason. Well, technically, I guess he could have just come up on that side of the body instead.
Yeah, and that's a big thing that I really love seeing you guys work on and improve is your scrambling. Like, I don't expect you guys to move like you know, D1 wrestlers or Olympic wrestlers or anything, but if you watch those guys and how they operate, they're so much more dynamic when it comes to getting out of those positions, like, you know, what we would when we hang out in turtle or something, or like coming up from being sprawled on. Like Jordan's being pretty static here for my taste. Just working from the knees, not circling around, not driving through. Jason's able to square back up. So it makes it easier for people to work against you there. Now again, I'm not saying you guys got to like wrestle or anything like that. Remember that wrestlers have a lot of other considerations. You know, there are things that they don't have to worry about that we have to worry about. So, you know, there are things you have to think about there. But rarely is it ever a good idea to just stay down there, knees and elbows or whatever, and let your opponent square back up. So, let's see, Mango.
Yeah.
Get your feedback in time. Yeah, that's fine, man. Regardless, I'm sure you're working on things anyway. And feedback from us, I hope it would be helpful, but even if you don't get it, I'm sure you're still improving. Danny tapped.
As he got flung into the wall.
Hook in here.
Yeah. Takes the old goot shot.
Yeah. Yep. I don't want to hear it from any of you. That's why we're a cup. Dude, all the time, man. Like, I get kicked square in the nuts. Like, just from, like, white belts or, like, the kids just overzealously, putting their hooks in. And I'm just, man, like, weekly. So thankful.
Well, in that case, Jordan, I'm glad you didn't make it.
I mean, we do have bidets at the school, so don't make it weird, Josh. Let's go back here a little bit. Sorry, kind of lost track of Jordan and Jason here. So Jason's bottom half guard. And then also Austin hand fighting a bit. Trying to see how much he comes up on an ankle pick here, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, good. Good awareness. And Gavin, let's see. Yeah. I mean, you got caught. That's really all it is. I was trying to see if Gavin was standing square for any extended length of time, but I think I've had to correct him on that in the past, so it looks like he's doing good with that. And
yeah, one of the things that I talked to him about that night was I see a lot of outside passing with him and his brother, for that matter. A lot of Toriando style passing, trying to go around the legs and use speed. And of course, there's a time and a place, and if you're very good at it, then continue doing it. But against some people, especially those who are coming in for leg attacks and really trying to go after legs, up the middle passing is kind of where I like to play.
Yeah.
So toying around with just the different styles of passing is really my big advice. Is don't get stuck on one style of passing. Try to look at it, because there's a lot of different players out there, right? Like, there's a lot of different angles that they're going to try and take on you. And if you continue to play that same angle, then you become very predictable.
Yeah. Jason is showing a good example of separating the arm and the head, or splitting the arm and the head for this Kimura.
Ooh, that was deep.
Yeah, this was really good. So you can see here, I mean, at this point, I think Jordan's just a little naive in this case. Like, he doesn't know that he's in danger right now, but really his head position, there's a lot of he's trying to squirrel his arm away there, but his head is all the way over on Jason's far side of the body, and he's leaving his left arm behind. It would have been pretty easy for him to have damn, that's a good Kimura. It would have been pretty easy for him to disengage. He would have had to give up chest to chest pressure here, but disengage, get his head more to the center line, and then get his arm back in and start winning the hand fight if his arm was isolated, but then also advancing from half guard and passing without getting caught here.
Yeah, Gordon talks a lot about it in his passing instructionals. I know Danaher talks a lot about it as well in like the top pins instructionals. Um, but I didn't realize how much danger I was putting myself in by using trying to fight for the head position with my hands by going around the body rather than going up the middle of the body. So
Are you talking about as the attacker, like the top
as the
top
attacker
half
from
guard?
top. Yeah, yeah. So the amount of danger that you actually are putting yourself in is, I mean, it's like exemplified here
Mm-hmm.
because Jordan's going out and around. But now picture if Jordan were to pummel inside and go into the middle of the chest in order to shoot for going around the head, staying very tight, then there would be no separation between his elbow and his body,
So
right? It
you're
would be
talking about
nice and tucked.
taking that left arm up the center
Yep,
line or closer
up
to
the
the
center.
center line. Gotcha.
That's right. Because his right arm has the underhook, right? So that one's already scored inside position from that perspective, right? He's already inside of Jason in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
But his left hand is now on outside position, so he should be fighting for inside position in order to scoop the head.
Yeah.
That was a cool armbar from Gavin.
Yeah, this is interesting. Let's see. Don't quite see the setup.
I mean, essentially, Austin has a leg drag here.
Yeah, yeah.
Kinda.
If Austin just circled up to the head, he'd be fine.
Yep.
Ooh, switch to the lat.
Mm-hmm. Wrong one. You see what I mean with like the distance of the mats? Like it's deceivingly long,
Mm-hmm.
and even though there are things happening like in the far side, even if you try and call them out, nobody can see anything about it.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, once we get the good camera back up, we'll have to clearly let you guys know where the matches that we're gonna review are gonna like take place. Like we can't cover the entire length of the mat, unfortunately. So if you want to get your stuff picked apart and you want to be made fun of on the stream, then we'll show you exactly where to do your matches.
Tape off some of the mats. Stay here.
Yeah. So Jordan playing from close guard right now. See something real quick. So he's been in here a minute. Jason pulls, tries to go for the Tomonagi. So Jordan, if you're watching, this is generally a bad spot for your hands. If your hands are on the floor, they're vulnerable to the Kimura that you just got caught in. And this double over position on the leg, probably not going to do much to break the legs open. So, general rules here for when you're in close guard. Don't try to attack them. And I say general because I know there are plenty of exceptions that probably go viral in our in the BJJ TikTok world or something, of people strangling people from in close guard. You're not them, and you're probably not good, so don't try that stuff. The main focus is breaking open the guard, which either breaking it open or and or passing. Like here, I wouldn't say Jordan broke the guard open. Jason looks like Jason kind of opened the guard himself and going for this Udigatami straight arm. But yeah, now Jordan takes advantage, steps over the knee, so didn't have to do a standing guard break or anything like that. But yeah, don't attack from enclosed guard. Focus only on opening the guard and getting around the legs at that point. Looks like Matt set up a tight little triangle there.
He did.
Nice.
The wrong way triangle.
Was it? Oh yeah. I wonder if he knew that.
That's a good question.
I mean, I missed it. So coming off of the armbar, actually.
Yeah, because she actually slips the bottom arm. I think that's the reason why.
Yeah. And he has like
She
a
slips
collar
the
tie.
attacked arm.
Yeah. I like seeing Austin and Pablo train.
Mm-hmm.
So no setup on the single leg from Pablo. Ooh, nice foot sweep.
Yeah, it was.
Just kind of caught Pablo stopping and thinking.
Yeah, Dayashi.
Yeah, with good example of just like the real necessity of the collar tie or just some upper body off balancing. It's not enough to just pull a leg out. You have to get the head out over the feet. So Austin's using a collar tie there to push him over, get him down.
Yeah, he's pulling the wrist. He was pulling the wrist and pushing the collar tie.
Yeah.
Nice, straight in the legs. Way to pop him down, Pablo. That was good. It was a nice sweep.
Yeah. Go white belts looking for heel hooks. Let's see it.
Right.
Meanwhile, Austin's like, yeah, Matt has a hard time heel hooking me, so I'm not really going to sweat this. Big reap from Pablo, getting the heel exposed.
Yeah, this is dangerous territory from a reaping perspective.
Yeah.
Gumby could probably handle it.
I don't recall if Pablo watches the stream or not, but if you have any questions about what we're talking about, man, like with the reaping stuff and why it's dangerous, let us know. Ask us in class. We'll probably reiterate it a million times over the next 2 weeks while we're going over the leg stuff.
Yeah, James has been going over positional stuff from the back.
Yeah.
For the past
great
at least 2 weeks or so. And he's become very difficult to submit from the back.
Great. Who's he training with here? Is that Jordan? Okay.
Jordan.
Jordan in the like high ball ride position.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very close to crossbody here.
Yeah.
It's his leg draped over onto the other side. He has crossbody ride. I mean, I guess it doesn't really have to be. It's just more, it looks more like a crossbody ride if the leg is on the inside.
You're talking about this leg going behind James's leg here. Yeah.
Yeah, you can go, you don't have to scorpion lock it in, or lock down or scorpion lock, whatever you want to call it, in order for it to be a crossbody ride. Planting the left foot, in this case, the left foot of Jordan, on the mat in between James's legs is the safest apart, right? Like when somebody elevates you like this, if so James, you're on the stream. If you were able to shake the grip here, right? I know you're having a hard time here shaking the grip. If you were able to eliminate the threat of the neck right now, if you were to rotate your body, you would be an outside or straight ashi with him, right? Because your leg is surrounding his, or both of your legs is surrounding his left leg. So you could rotate straight into that position and start setting up a heel hook or a straight ankle lock. I actually really like it. Go ahead.
Are you talking about if he rotates to his right, like turning
Yes.
down to? Okay.
Yep, down towards the feet,
Yep.
to James's right. He ends up in a leg attacking position.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite escapes from the back is when somebody gets me in a crossbody ride and I can attack legs like this. But again, there's a big what if, or the big if is, can you shake the hands?
Yeah.
If you shake the hands, you're straight into the legs. But what I was saying about the foot being planted, if his foot stays planted on the mat, kind of like it is right now, then your right leg can't sweep underneath that leg, meaning that you don't have a leg attack anymore.
Right.
So this is the safest crossbody ride position, is planting that foot.
Yeah, right here.
Yes.
Oh, we're gonna speed this up.
Jet lag's kicking in.
Dude, I've been so tired.
I can empathize. I know the feeling.
Man, the first day I was there, landed at 7, but I think my body thought it was like 1 a.m. and
Yep.
I just decided to fight through for the whole day, and I just about collapsed. Oh, we lose it. There it is.
Yeah, so I had to do some editing because it was just falling down on its face and whatever.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Might be able to see some of the other matches a little better now. But yeah, now so that was going from that was headed to the east, which I always feel like that's, from what I've heard, that's where jet lag like hits the hardest. But then headed back home, I think by the time we got back to the house, it was, my body thought it was like 3 a.m., 4 a.m.
Yeah. Yeah, it normally coming back, going west isn't terrible,
Yeah.
especially on like the first day, but like the next day it'll start hitting you, and then tomorrow you'll still be tired.
Yeah.
It'll take a little bit.
Can't wait. Going back to work.
Yep.
So Austin, let's see. That was nice. Okay, cool. This is fun. So Austin's in this it almost like, I couldn't tell if he was working like a 10-finger guillotine setup or what, but he goes in on this anaconda,
Yep.
like this gator roll.
Yeah, and it was fully locked up when he started to rotate too.
Yeah. So Pablo's doing a good job at defending this though. Like he's he's giving Austin enough trouble by pulling his elbow down. Remember, we talk about this. I know Gavin and Braden, they were doing this a lot a few weeks ago, but we talk about, we get to here, we collect their trapped arm with our leg. And the reason we collect it is because we pull their elbow up high, and then that allows you to sink and strangle. It gets the shoulder into a more appropriate position to block that side of the neck. So Pablo's making that difficult for him. He's not letting him get the leg in. So Austin decides to come up on top and switch into mount. And then he makes a pretty quick transition here. I don't think he hangs out for too long. And goes to the back. Really smooth transition. Nice. As Pablo turns to defend whatever's happening over there with the arm, I think I'm going to say Pablo's left arm here, Pablo's left elbow, his top elbow, probably gets a little too close to Austin's center line, and that's what gives Austin the ability to take the back here. So quick chair sit, back take, immediately to a body triangle, and then on into the hand fight. So smooth transitioning. That was really good, Austin. Pablo not having any of it.
Looks like Josh and Jason dealing with a leg entanglement. Yep. Jason posted a leg and Josh took it.
Yeah, he got a little too complacent. Right now, like the way Jason's posting his right hand on Josh's leg, he's essentially just giving him a butterfly hook. He hasn't like taken the leg out or anything. So as he steps up to here, Josh can just push him backwards and leave that lead leg really light and easy to scoop, which is exactly what he does. He says thank you, comes up for a really nice Irimi Ashi position, gets the outside heel hook.
Yeah, if Jason wanted to improve, was looking to improve that, right? You either drive the knee across the hip line, right? You have to make sure that you don't keep that foot planted when you're trying to pass, in order to attack that far leg for like the knee bar, or going into I guess most importantly is first getting into a leg drag position, which is like he was pushing very well on that to get rid of that butterfly hook, but then dragging the leg over top and posting the right leg instead of posting the left leg.
Yeah, so switching this is what you're saying, switching this leg, but also pulling that leg, let's go back to a better frame, pulling Josh's leg across the body.
Or across over top of his right leg, right? So
shelving it,
yeah, shelving it over. Okay. Like, I mean, that's how we set up like either a Rimiashi from half guard, or even setting up like your knee bar from half guard too, right? Is you can shelf that, get the scoop grip, drive the left knee across the hip line, and then sit across for the knee bar, or cross ashi in general. Cooper brought the heat when I trained with him. It was good.
I'm glad. It was like maybe, I don't know, within the last 6 months he started training really seriously, and like with good technical proficiency, not just spazzy kind of technique. He was like, all right, I think I know a lot of stuff. I should probably put it to use now. I'm just blitz these guys. Oh.
Yeah.
James working the calf slice. Okay. Maybe that was just a little demo.
Yeah, he's going through the crossbody ride, I think.
Yeah. All right, Pablo and Austin are talking. Andrew and Steven. Steven was a little persistent on this leg for Andrew. So Andrew had a really good reaction there. Just like it looks like he's keeping his balance really well. He immediately rips that leg off, but ends up losing his balance after that, and that was enough to give Steven, I think, the straight ankle lock, judging by the finish. Steven was kind of belly up on this one. It didn't look like a heel hook finish, but I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, Steven. To a knee bar. Steven's just all about legs in this round, I guess.
He made a switch last week.
To what? Wanting to only do legs?
Wanting to only do legs, or going back to the legs and such. He was very much on the standing, doing stand up, and then decided to go back into the legs.
I'm not even scared of him. I don't care. I'm ready for it. Bring it.
Nice pass by Steven. Kind of tight waist. I don't know if maybe he did have a body lock, but
just kind of scoops in behind the knees.
Control the hips, and then make sure the legs are pointing in the same direction, or the knees are pointing in the same direction, and we'll pass a high percentage.
Jason kind of working a similar principle there with controlling where Pablo's legs are pointing. So posting, scooting that knee in behind. He could walk Pablo's legs away a little bit better to really prevent it. Might not need to though right now.
And if I'm walking somebody's legs away in that type of position, I actually tend to do it with my bottom leg, like in this case it would be his right knee. I don't know if that matters or not, but see how he's using his left leg to like drive in right there. I'll actually sit into reverse Kesa and I'll continue to track their hips. I feel like my hip position to their hip position is critical in this. If you think about it, your hips aren't, if you track with that top leg or with that left leg, you're never hip to hip with your partner.
Yeah.
And in that case, they can always kind of give you that wiggle and get their knee back in. So if I sit down into a reverse case, I can always get hip to hip with them, and I can track them with that right knee instead and force their knees into the direction I want, which is away from me. And then I can step over with my left leg into a side control.
I was just gonna say into mount, right?
Or you can go straight into mount.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like you can easily collect the legs, like use their reaction of trying to point their knees back to you and say, all right, cool, give me your knees, pull them down and hit the step over mount transition.
Yep.
I don't know how I feel about reaching up for the head. What's up, Joe?
What's up, Joe?
So Pablo here doing...
Cole does this.
Yeah.
Very effectively.
I feel like best case that usually comes out of it is you come up into this mutual headlock position. Like if Pablo got his knees underneath him right now, Jason would have him in a headlock. He would have Jason in a headlock, and then it's just kind of a dogfight from there. I don't know. I don't particularly like doing this just because I feel like my own arm is getting isolated. And if Jason could control the wrist and slip his head out, all of a sudden he can get very high head position and possibly start setting up some pretty easy Kimuras. Look at Josh just chilling here.
I know, he's been sitting there for a minute.
Lazy piece of shit.
Jason also has a Von Flu, right? Like if he were to slip his head onto the other side, I'm sorry, his right arm on the other side of Pablo and pressure down, he has a Von Flu choke.
Yeah, I mean, would it be because he's not using. He doesn't have a like a Von Flu is just a Katagatame, right? Like does he have Pablo's shoulder here?
He does through if he drives his head through the hole, like grab the wrist like you were saying before with the left hand, use the right hand to scoop under the head, and then drive forward. He's in the Von Flu Katagatame style.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Triangle.
Yeah, I was picturing him more from like that, the north south, like staying there from north south. But yeah, he can absolutely move easily to a Von Flu choke. How'd you hurt your arm? Why are arms getting hurt?
You grab the chin. Yeah, you wind up chin whipping me like really bad. I wind up flopping to my back when Cole does that to me.
Yeah, and like that's the thing. I'm not like Cole. I think does it more successfully than anybody else. That's why I don't want to like totally say it's a technique you shouldn't do. It does. I would say it absolutely does require that chin whip though, and like some downward pressure of the shoulder into the back of the neck. Like that makes a huge difference. But you know, against a more evenly matched opponent, like I mean, if you know, if it was me versus, you know, I don't know, whatever other 150 pounder we have, like it feels a little too 50-50 for me, and I feel like there's better options. Thank you, Joe. Thank you. I am taller. I'm using the metric system now, so the numbers are bigger. Oh, Braden almost getting Makikomi here.
His arm's stuck.
You know, I had a realization the other day about the Makikomi. So, and maybe this is just but so right here, like the vulnerability, like remember with every move, like every move has a counter, right? And another way to think about that is, what are the vulnerabilities that either you or your opponent are leaving when you execute some technique? So if you apply that to the Makikomi, which is what Caleb's doing right now, the Fat Man roll as we love to call it, what happens here is he traps the arm, he rolls to, in this case he rolls to his left, looking to roll your opponent over and take top position. But in doing so, the vulnerability comes right here between your elbow and your knee on the trailing side of the roll. So if you can anticipate that, I know Mike, you've been talking about, you've anticipated his Makikomi by stepping over, I believe was how you were approaching it. If you can anticipate that roll, shut down the initial threat, the initial off balance of the roll, then exploit the wide open space between his elbow and knee on the trailing side, he essentially gives you a single hook to start setting up your back take.
That's
so
right.
It's not something to necessarily shy away from. Like you can absolutely do what Braden did and, you know, reach over the back, get your arm trapped. That's fine as long as you know your opponent's probably going to try this. You just get to turn it into a back take from there. Shut up, Caleb. Granted, easier said than done. Especially, I think Caleb's probably got the best Makikomi sweep I've encountered.
Yep. Yeah, him and Daniel are very proficient. Yeah, Daniel's been back actually.
Good.
2 times. I think we've reviewed a couple of matches.
could just tell by Steven's posture that he's talking shit right now, you know? Like, he just has this like upward, you know, like wide open chin that you could just punch, you know? You just know he's talking smack right now.
And the fact that he's training with Josh.
Yeah, of course.
Know that there are words.
Never talking any amount of smack, yeah. I literally have to muffle you to stop you from shit talking me while I'm on your back for an entire round.
Nice, Josh. Losing the knee line a little bit. Oh, but he got it back. Puts him down on his butt.
Almost
Good job.
took out Caleb too.
Yeah.
So this is just like a little idea to throw in here, Josh. For this position, like Steven turns away and you kind of lock down into this almost like a calf slice position, where your left leg is the one that's like going across calf slicing. Josh actually hit me with a calf slicer, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, like right before I went on vacation, and I like scream tapped so that he wouldn't come up and just blow my knee out before before I sat on a plane for hours. The thing is though, Josh, I want to see you switch your legs here so that the lock of the lock of your legs is on the inside, closer to Steven's center line than on the outside of the body, if that makes sense. It's a less vulnerable place for your ankles to be. If you find yourself playing with that calf slice position, just think about as he turns away to like slip the heel and run, switch your legs over, you know, keep a grip on the heel, and like maybe even with like an Achilles grip, and then switch the legs over and try to break his knee down to the mat from there and play with that calf slice position.
So what Steven just did there, like we're talking pulling guard, we went over what Cooper had done prior, but Steven does it in a much more controlled way. So he's not getting anywhere from the standing, so he's deciding to pull guard. So he takes a 2-on-1 on Josh's left arm, and he's sitting to guard. Why is it important that it's his left arm? For one, because the stance with Josh leading with his right leg means that the knee cut is going to be a vulnerability, right? Normally when you pull guard and somebody's ready for it and they knee cut pass, they can just drive straight through. But since Steven has a hold of the opposite arm, the lagging arm from Josh, the knee cut pass isn't going to happen because he's controlling the far arm, right? Like Josh would need that arm in order to plant and circle around. So this is, you know, different from what Cooper had done, which was kind of just, you know, he grabbed a 1-on-1 and then maybe went down to scoop the leg. And here, you know, Steven's nice and controlled, pulls him down, no risk of a knee cut getting blasted through. And now he can start looking to set up, whether it's leg attacks or having Josh pass from a controlled distance.
Or smack him in the face.
Or smack him in the face.
Shalom, Austin.
Shabbat shalom.
I don't think Austin's been in the chat for like months.
He hasn't trained for months, so yeah, that's
right.
Pretty much true.
Then you just walk on back into our lives like this.
You can't toy with my emotions.
Yeah, dude.
Fragile.
Who do you think you are? Danny on his wonky triangle game against Raiden.
Raiden. Yes, we did.
Yeah, we actually talked a lot about it. It was very
I was
good.
going to say we just blazed right over it and completely ignored it.
Yeah, the one where the submission you attempted didn't work. Super cool, bro.
Yeah, would have been a lot cooler if it worked.
No, we liked your we liked the gator roll into the quick mount take and then the really smooth back transition you did off of that. So I was looking at what Danny was doing, that's why I kept rewinding.
Was he trying to set up like a Texas cloverleaf? I didn't catch it either.
So his legs are in a weird spot. He doesn't really have like his left leg isn't woven in. Like he doesn't have Braden's right leg under full isolation. And then I don't know where I think that's his knee poking through. This is like a weird.
His right knee in between. Mm-hmm.
He's basically in Irimiyashi, but like a full reap across the body, but not turning. This is wild. So normally Irimiyashi, you're gonna have your opponent's bottom leg in this case on this side of the body, but Braden's brought it all the way over. Yeah, this is just weird. I don't think I've ever played around.
It's like a cross ashi, but with the foot on the outside. He just doesn't have it locked in a triangle.
Yeah.
But
we'll go with
here, that. Danny, you're like I don't know if you're watching tonight or not, but I was gonna say Braden has the threat of an inside heel hook, although not controlled. You can really try and get out. He could get out of that position just by torquing your ankle a little bit and getting your hips moving. Going straight into that triangle. Damn, no mercy, Danny. Jesus.
For real. What about your arm was hurting here, Josh? Just curious. The reason I'm asking is just because the way Steven's kind of smashing you from out. You know, we advocate for like kipping escapes there, but it requires, yeah, exactly, like framing on the hips. I want to see you kicking those legs a bit more, not just like bumping your knees into his butt. But yeah, I didn't know if you were able to push away. It was soreness from Saturday from my back down my shoulder into my arm. Yeah, Braden's on a nice outside heel hook here.
Mm-hmm.
Big heavy reap. Little mutual toe hold action from
yeah. Who got that one? Was that
Caleb?
Or was that just Bell? The Bell.
Yeah, it might have been the Bell. I guess it was Bell. Yeah, it looked like they both kind of stopped at the same time.
Yeah.
Brandon out.
Danny and Steven. It looked like it. I just couldn't tell whether the bell rang before they got to a tap or not. Yep.
Nice takedown. Sorry, like reading the chat and trying to watch this 2-on-1.
I got you. So you must have got one earlier, and then he got one at the later round. It definitely looked like it was in his favor.
This is some good tenacity here, Steven. Working the 2-on-1. Like Danny starts to kind of square up with you, so you lose that that flank kind of position that you get from a good one of these. But I like what you do here, how Danny's so committed on the head, but you still retain control over his arm. And you're just like, yeah, cool, I'll send you anyway. Since you're attached to
Sumigashi.
something. Yeah.
Is that Joe and Pablo?
I don't think I've seen Joe on stream yet.
He's been in
all-
the back.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been in the very back, and I think they've been working on stuff, drilling mostly. Jason setting up the body lock.
That was a really good adjustment from Austin to get his legs out.
Super good to get his legs out. I really like that hip switching that he did to just like shake that left leg free. And then as he comes back down, his right leg comes out. Boom, big bump. Very nice.
I bet it was.
Yeah. He's really getting the hang of it too. He's working on it actively, which is he doesn't really have much more to go, to be honest with you.
You're looking for your triangle setup. The hip bump into the triangle.
Nice pass by Caleb. Josh.
Let's see. Let's go back.
Steven got a back take.
So Caleb's working from half guard here.
Mm-hmm.
When does he get the leg free?
So here, this is a little detail that kind of goes back to what I was talking about before with like pinning somebody's hips. When Caleb goes up to shake the left leg of Josh here, his Caleb's left knee is in the hip crease of Josh. So Josh effectively can't move towards Caleb at all to give him any sort of bump to get off, right? If he, and for that matter, if he did decide to unlock his legs to give him bridge like he did right there, then Caleb can set up the pass.
Yep.
So it's a really good dilemma that you put your partner in by blocking with that, what I'm calling the bottom knee, right? The
outside
lead.
knee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know which one. But yeah. And then how did Steven get on Danny's back?
Who gives a shit? I'm tired of Steven. This is
Trying to
interesting.
set up. Yeah, trying to set up like a triangle from Mount.
Takes like the shin pin over that left arm.
Mm-hmm. That was a really clever use of an inside bicep tie. So he used an inside bicep tie, kind of worked his elbow out a little bit, and then replaced his bicep tie with his knee. Right there. That was pretty cool. Goes around. Okay. Almost trying. Kind of like you were trying to dive for get into the triangle, Steven. I don't know if that's what you were trying to go for or not.
I mean, it looks like Danny's elevating his hips here.
Yeah.
And he just kind of bails and decides to get
Kimura.
behind him. Kimura,
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay.
And yeah, Danny or Steven, the only thing I saw here early on, where was it? As you switch up to this this like kneeling, one knee down, one knee up position, it's hard to say if you're mitigating this risk, but if Danny just kind of shoots both arms under that leg, not even necessarily as a way to like bridge you off and kind of go out the back, but if you just like sometimes with you guys, I'll just try to swim both of my arms underneath. That way, like any move you make from there forward up my body, I'm out. I have no concern at that point. So if you, again, I can't see if you're controlling at least one of the wrists here, but if you're stepping up in mount, you have a foot planted. Make sure you're doing that just so you're not giving your opponents an easy way to escape out the back. It looked like you didn't have that problem here at all, but again, I just couldn't really see the hand configuration. I don't know who to watch right now. Everybody's moving. Jason on a knee bar, spin around knee bar. Or at least he was. Austin got his leg free, I think. Yep. Nice climbing from Austin here up the body to get the mount. Yeah.
Yeah, and Jason was really put in a bad dilemma here. This is one of the risks of going for an outside ashi, and having your knee, that top knee getting collapsed, is the back take.
Yeah. See, I think, is it right there? Does he step out? Does he bring?
He doesn't really, but his knee is cleared so much that it doesn't. I don't know if he clears it on his own or if maybe Austin clears it for him.
At this point,
it looks like it slipped off. Yeah.
So yeah, Austin's doing the right thing here, establishing control, driving forward to get his own foot back towards his butt, and then Jason made the last good adjustment he can make by not giving up his back and just accepting mount instead. Nice kipping escape. Looks like Caleb's just trying to smash Josh's head with a forearm.
Jason very aware of the triangle threat. Did a good job of blocking that leg from coming over top of the shoulder.
Caleb's trying to work north-south strangle. Josh, you can see Josh like going through in his head, like, wait a minute, how do I do it from here where I can do it to him? And then by the time he starts to get it, Caleb's like, nah, I don't have mine, so I'm not gonna hang out there. Nice. Jason's really gotten a lot better at the standing guard break. That makes me super happy.
Yep.
Just persistent practice.
Ooh, Josh jumped on the head.
Yeah.
That was slick. Forward shift, goes straight into the head. Caleb rolls, which I think was a good plan. And right before Josh could really adjust and get into a threat for the guillotine.
Yeah, Caleb hit. I don't think I've guillotined or Darced or Anaconda Caleb in months. He's fully adopted like that rolling escape, and it annoys the hell out of me.
Yes.
Is that what happened there?
Smother, I think.
Okay. Damn, Steven, that was oh god.
good scramble.
This is a really fun scramble. So pretty quick level change from Steven. Drops to the knees, shoots the double, drives, and Danny is like ready for it with the over-under butterfly sweep. Damn, that was nice. But kind of a callback to what I was saying earlier about like the persistence of a good that you see from good wrestlers. Like that's what you need to get through those sorts of scrambles. How the points work out on that? I don't know, dude. I go for submissions. That is a good question. I think because so it obviously depends on the rule set, but you initiate the takedown. No position is established here for a bit. It's like you don't get takedowns. Danny doesn't get reversal. He doesn't have you under control there. Now you guys settle in here. So I would give you 2 points on that takedown if I was reffing. Oh. So glad to have Austin back in the chat. I assume you were just talking about that scramble, Steven. I don't know. Total points wise, yeah, James might be pretty on point there. I mean, we have the benefit of looking at the footage so we can get a feel for just how long you guys were in the positions so we could identify. I feel like that I wouldn't say that any position was established until the very end when you had him on his butt for 3 seconds. Braden had a nice takedown on Austin there. I think that's one he and Gavin both like to use that seated trip.
Yep. Yeah, they do that very well.
Is that the Tani Itoshi from the rear? I don't know. Pinball. If
I
you're
think it's
so
a Tayatoshi from the rear. I don't think it's Tani
yeah,
Itoshi.
Yeah, you might be right.
I don't know. Pinball was in the chat earlier.
Yeah.
Probably.
Brady trying to go on a little modified knee bar here.
I don't think he's there anymore.
Oh, Tiny Yoshi. That's what it is.
Tiny Yoshi.
Thank
yeah.
you, Caleb.
Super Mario 2. You would know it. I think me and Caleb were talking about whiskey.
So, Braden, let's see, before I go any further with this. So, the thing with heel hooks, when you guys, we talk about how these are like twisting locks, right? I like to use the analogy of when you open a jar, you have to hold the jar, hold the lid, and you turn the jar one way, the lid the other way. You got to think about heel hooks in the same fashion. So the way that you can use that analogy here is you want to take your arms in this direction, theoretically to hit the finish. That means that your knees should be pointing in this direction, right? So you get that opposite force going on where you're torquing across the knee in two different directions. If your knees are pointing in the same direction that your upper body is going to be turning in, then you're not going to get the same amount of power the required torque out of the heel hook. So keep that in mind. Like, at this point, I would almost opt to just like keep rolling over to reset the position, and then try to work it from there. But when your knees are already pointing in the direction that you want to turn, like early on, you're gonna make it very difficult for yourself to finish this heel hook. So that's something I want to see you guys working on a bit more as you go through that these next 2 weeks. Braden really wants to break Austin's ankle right now.
So Caleb, we were during this roll, you obviously you effectively passed my guard here, but can you go back to right here? All right, so here, I don't think I had anything except for maybe your far arm on like to even threaten you with. But if you can see, like, your right knee is, again, it's right at the hip crease, my left hip crease. If you start walking your body towards the lion, right, rotating me around, my legs are just gonna flop down to the ground. You don't even need to use your hand to push on my leg here. You literally just need to start walking your body, and you have the mount. So I just wanted you to know that, like, the whole risk of like losing a hand or whatever during that pass shouldn't be crossing your mind. You should be very well balanced there and should be able to just use your legs to walk my legs around.
Yeah. I just wanted to see Jason and Steven had a. Okay, Jason goes for a double and just runs out of runway. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, let's mess with it tomorrow. I don't know how many potential smothers I was trying to fight off here, but it was a lot.
Yeah, haven't missed that. Cooper hip switching right past Josh's guard.
I did not want to be flat, and my left hamstring was cramping up so bad during this roll. It was, yeah, it was bad. I kept having to like extend, like you'll see me just randomly extend my leg because it just, I couldn't take it anymore.
I love when that kind of stuff happens, and I'm like secretly suffering so bad. And I'm
not gonna let anybody know.
Yeah, like I'm not telling anybody.
Nope.
Steven, what happened with that mutual footlock attempt there? It looks like you and Jason both got into the same shootout that he and Caleb did. But somebody yelled tap.
It was a good twister.
Yeah. Was it, right? Was it
Braden? Yeah.
Okay, it was, yeah. So, okay, there it is.
Hey, what's up, man? Welcome back.
Damn. What's up, SQC? Yeah, SQC, I think you started following when I was out, so. Pleasure to meet you. Is this a new place? Yeah.
Yeah, this is the new spot. It's a considerable. It's bigger and it's considerably longer than the other spot.
Veronica taught the Twister on Saturday. Amazing.
She did. Yep.
Jesus, Steven. What is going on here? I wish I could see more of this setup. Steven just thrashing him. Way more longer. SQC, where do you train? Or I'm assuming you train. Anybody who would follow us, I assume trains. Oh, look at... I hate Steven so much. This stupid grip. You know he's setting up for the baseball bat. All right, from Brazil. All right, cool, cool.
Right on.
Setting up for that stupid no-gi baseball bat choke. Josh asking the important questions. Right on. Hopefully you have a decent number of options. I always hate reading like on the BJJ subreddit or something when people are like, I'm at this school, there's this really crappy situation, but it's the only school for like 100 miles around, and I'll have to drive 2.5 hours if I want to train somewhere else.
You mean every other post on the subreddit?
Yeah, basically. Steven's been doing some good transitioning here on his attacks. He was just in a Kimura a second ago. Or attacking.
Is this the one, Steven, you were talking about? You just dive in on the legs from like mount or something. We were talking about it after class.
Okay. One from the back.
Okay, Sao Paulo. Yeah, I'm sure there's a ton of options there.
Oh yeah.
A lot of good training. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Damn, to Dubai. Wow. So Josh hit me with the Ashi sweep here, and it was really good. I mean, normally I can get out of these.
Okay.
Right there. Yeah. So I'm trying to float. I'm trying to figure out if I can float pass. And he just shoots up with an Ashi. And I'm like, okay, I get out of that one. And then he switches legs on me. And before I can react, he pops me right down to a hip.
Nice.
It's solid.
Danny's doing a great job tracking Caleb right now. As Caleb's trying to like roll through these escapes. Oh, Steven said that's how he got to Jason's feet earlier.
Yeah, earlier. Yeah.
The legs. Well, to Austin's credit, I don't think he's tapped yet through all that flurry of action. Like Steven was trying to like tie Rotolo, throw himself by into a Darce.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, ADCC, Abu Dhabi.
That was a good reaction from you on that Ashi sweep setup here. So as Josh switches that outside leg, you've already pinned the front side leg. So when he switches the outside leg, he just gives up the pass. Like there's now nothing. There aren't any legs blocking you at that point.
Yeah, it was a quick back step and then straight in to the pass.
It would be, I think, more prudent for Josh to just reap the hell out of you right now.
Like, oh, totally.
Like just step, because Josh, you could see once you take that leg off the hip here, there's nothing. You've given up your guard. But instead of swinging it back through here, just take it through and across Mike's body, breaking the knee down and exposing the heel. You don't have any good control over the leg at that point for like a really effective heel hook, but it's better than this, I would say.
Yeah, I did have my left elbow in my like on my thigh, trying to fight that foot.
Mm-hmm.
But he had my grip, like he had my left hand, I think, in this, and he's like trying to drag me over as he's trying to pop me down, right? So he was playing. He had to let go of my hand in order to try and get me down onto my right hip at some point.
Yeah.
Right. Otherwise, it would have been a very ineffective. He would have been pulling against himself. And so, what I was doing was I was pulling, making sure that my hand didn't get fully extended. So I was keeping my hand kind of in my hip pocket, to prevent and possibly knock off his foot. And when he's transitioned like that, I was able to just step right around it.
Yeah. Steven goes for a calf slicer here through this pass.
Oh, you didn't think that I had the left leg pinned down. Oh, he also talked about this one, how he sat down onto a calf slicer.
Oh my god, that scares me. If Steven just plopped his fat ass down onto Austin's ankle. God, that would have been so bad.
This has been one of the worst things that I've been putting people in, is that dilemma right there. So I'm coming around. Josh is really trying to frame my shoulders so that I can't effectively get to side control, right? He's trying to push me down his body. And so I take that and go across the face, and I really put some torque on the neck. Right here.
So you weave under the tricep but over the face.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then now I can put pressure down onto the shoulder, but since he was going in that direction, I just can step through and I'm automatically set up for the strangle, and I can pull him on top of me.
That's such a nice transition.
It's like, whoop,
scoop right underneath, right into a mandible strangle.
Yeah, I did not finish the mandible because it was straight across the face.
Savage. Another notch in Steven's belt. It looked like it hurt, man. Calf slicers are, I don't know, they scare me. Like when they set on, I feel like 99% of the time they're pretty easy to get out of and to avoid. But when they just like hit the spot, it's like frightening.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just scared about blowing my knees out, man.
That is 100%.
The older I get,
can happen.
Like I've never skied. I was talking about this with my wife. Like I've never gone skiing, and everyone I know who has always has a skiing horror story about. Yeah, James. a horror story about them or someone they know blowing their knee out skiing. I'm like,
Yeah.
why would I ever do that?
Jason is damn near impossible to get grips on, especially like at this point. I think he had sat out the last round, so he was dry for the first part of it.
Nice.
So I was able to like get him moving a little bit here and there, but it was really tough to start setting up sweeps. I know he's been working on his body lock passing, so I'm really coaxing him to get me into the body lock so I can figure out how to break out of it.
Yeah.
Kind of just throwing a bunch of different like little looks at getting him off balance.
Keeping your left heel really close to your butt here so that he can't like step around and get behind it.
Yeah, I'm telling him to extend his. So one of the things that I was noticing while I was watching him train, and what he was doing to me is he was putting his butt up in the air, and not really. Yeah, see how he's kind of. Yeah, so I was telling him like sprawl. I was like, I want you to sprawl out and walk out nice and wide. It's going to be a lot harder for me to get a hook on your thigh if you're flat, you know.
Right.
And so he did that, walked around, and then we reset a little bit here. But I think we continue here shortly. I really like this part of the north-south escape is getting my knee in. Once I'm able to get a knee in the in between the shoulder and myself, I'm pretty much able to get out of the north-south position.
Yeah.
There he kind of overcommitted to one of the attacks from top, and so I took advantage of it and came up on top. Caleb, you watched that from the side there, and we were talking about it. Like, I kind of just made that pass up as I went. I was kind of like taking it out of the whole knee bar attack, right? How you ride the knee across the hips, and then as I started transitioning, I kind of just windshield wipered my leg over top and was able to get straight into a pass, which I found. I'm going to keep playing with that, see if I can pull that off again.
Similar kind of approach here, right? I mean, like you're going up to Neon Belly and then just working from there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then I like to use Neon Belly as a good when my partner comes up and thinks that they can use their hands in order to start pushing on my hips and stuff from Neon Belly. Number one, if I get into this, like, you know, I would call it like a Jeff Glover style Neon Belly, to where it's like very balancy and whatnot. Anytime he gives me a big bridge, I'm just gonna ride on top, right? Like that, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And so anytime he brings his arms up, all that means for me is that I can start isolating those arms when they start coming up. So I really am welcoming somebody to come up and push on my hips at that point so that I can start isolating these arms. And eventually I think I get to a gift wrap position here, and then I'm able to secure the back.
Nice. Man, watching this footage has just made me like want to
train?
murder all of you so bad. Like I just can't wait to get back.
I think it ends right about here.
Yeah. All right, good stuff, man. Whoops, we lost you. I'm sufficiently ready to train and get back on the mats.
Now a little tiny box.
Yeah, let's get you. I had to like mess with the whole setup earlier, so. Where are you at? There you are.
Thank you guys. Appreciate you joining. Thanks as always for coming into the chat.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Yeah, new ways to injure blue belts by Matt.
Yeah. Check out, my instructional. It's gonna come out how to blow out
BJJ
blue belts.
Fanatics.
Yeah, how to blow out blue belts knees. Cool. Really missed you guys. So happy to be back. Looking forward to getting back on the mats with you guys and get back and get into the new space. I haven't trained there yet, so I'm very, very excited. So we'll see you guys there very soon. Follow us here if you haven't. Subscribe if you can. You could use your Twitch Prime to support the stream. All that good stuff. We'll have to check the upcoming schedule for competition, so you guys can start getting ready. Didn't you say there was one coming up?
No, there's one on June 3rd, I think, is the next one that I know of.
Cool. So yeah, that's plenty of time for us to get ready for that.
Naga.
Get you guys ready for it. Oh, Naga, maybe in Hickory, either Hickory or Charlotte.
Yep.
But yeah, that'll be a good one, good local one to go to. Always, ask us questions when we get back to class. I think we got some stuff to go over that we touched on with a few of you today, so we'll definitely do that. I'll be there tomorrow. You're gonna be up there tomorrow too, right?
Yep.
Cool.
I will be there.
All right, guys. Well, we'll leave it at that. In the meantime, go trim your nails and do your laundry and don't be stinky. And we will see you soon. Take it easy.
Later.